offering is the truth. Nothing more.
Not a climate scientist, but you're a very distinguished scientist and astrophysicist. What do you think about when people say, look, this is not settled science, there are still questions?
Chuck, got to get this off my chest, like now.
Okay. Hopefully it's not like any chest hair.
No, it's not.
Okay,
I'm not
good.
particularly hairy anyway, so that's not a thing.
Okay.
All right, so when people say they want to go into space,
I want to go.
what do they
into space.
typically mean by that?
They mean I'm going to be an astronaut. I'm going into space, man. I'm going up there. I'm going up there.
Up there, and generally they mean they want to go into orbit. All right, anyone who has
that's
ever
not what
been
they
in space.
mean. They don't mean that. They want to go to space, man.
Well, okay, if that's the case, do you know how many people have left low Earth orbit?
Well, first of all, you are going to have to define low Earth orbit for me.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Because
I'll say it another way. All right, the Apollo astronauts,
okay,
that left Earth
right,
to go to the moon.
all right,
Okay.
and that's space.
Okay, wait a minute. So there was Apollo 10, 11, 12, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 8 missions left Earth to go to the moon. Not all of them landed, right? As famously Apollo 13 didn't. And Apollo 10 was just a dry run for Apollo 11. But those are the only people who have ever left Earth for a destination.
That's cool.
Every other astronaut, hundreds of them, are called astronauts, and we still say they went into space. And what that means is they went into low Earth orbit.
Oh, that's just awful.
And so low Earth orbit is, in practice, where the space station is. It's about a couple of hundred miles up. So the distance from Earth's surface to the space station is less than the distance from New York City to Washington, D.C.
Oh, God, why are you depressing me like
I'm
this?
just trying to be
God.
honest about this.
This is awful.
Okay? So when people say to me, you want to go into space, and because somebody's got some orbital tourist thing, and I'm thinking, to me, space is the large-scale structure of the universe. Thank you. Not boldly going where hundreds have gone before, driving around the block, as low Earth orbit indicates. Okay? So, yeah, you can drive to Earth orbit in, 3 or 4 hours.
Oh.
All right? If the road were pointing straight up. So
Right.
NASA, when they say we are going into space, that's what they mean. Okay?
Okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense. So there's a distance for which that's it. And they rounded the number, so it's a nice clean number. It's 100 kilometers up, or about 62 miles.
Damn.
Okay?
So is the space station space? Is that beyond that threshold?
It's outside of that definitional layer.
But
I
it's
get
still
that.
low Earth orbit.
It's still LEO, low Earth orbit.
All right. Listen, I can't find fault with anything you said. It kind of makes sense.
Frankly, I have been pushing NASA to revamp its vision. The shuttle did some extraordinary work in low orbit experiments, this International Space Station, moving cargo. It was an extraordinary accomplishment, and we're very proud of the work that it did. But now what we need is that next technological breakthrough. We're still using the same models for space travel that we used with the Apollo program 30, 40 years ago. And so what we've said is, rather than keep on doing the same thing, let's invest in basic research around new technologies.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
Now what we need is that next technological breakthrough. We're still using the same models for space travel that we used with the Apollo program.
The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to.
So you have NASA saying they don't have the technology to do that anymore. The technology that they used between 1963 and 1972, they don't have it anymore. But then you hear your ex-president say they're still using the same technology that they used between 1963 and 1972, which is their current excuse for not being able to go past low Earth orbit. Now keep that in mind.
Previous program, we are setting a course with specific and achievable milestones. Early in the next decade, a set of crewed flights will test and prove the systems required for exploration beyond low Earth orbit.
The technologies that we're testing out on Space Station are definitely helping us with our goals of going beyond low Earth orbit.
Well, that's a great question. The plan that NASA has is to build a rocket called SLS, which is a heavy lift rocket. It's something that is much bigger than what we have today, and it will be able to launch the Orion capsule with humans on board, as well as landers or other components to destinations beyond Earth orbit. Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to, and we're building these building block components in order to allow us to do that eventually.
Nowadays, outer space is a given in everyone's mind. It's virtually in every movie, video game, comic book, novel, and even music and TV shows, causing mostly everyone to believe in outer space without question, even though they have never been there or seen it for themselves. Did you know that we are told that a mere 536 people have been to space, with only 24 of them traveling beyond low Earth orbit? That's barely a drop in the bucket as far as the entirety of Earth's population is concerned. And one of the funniest things is that all 24 people that have supposedly been past low Earth orbit come from the Apollo missions that took place between 1963 and 1972.
Now think about that. The only people that have been to space, and I say that in quote when I say space, are these 24 guys, and the last time they went was 1972. And they just all happen to be Freemasons. And let's have a look at their reaction when being asked about going past low Earth orbit.
You're the one who said you walked on the moon when you didn't. Why don't you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon?
Please?
Why don't you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon? Why don't you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon?
It doesn't, sir, I don't have nothing to do with this, but
Okay.
you cannot solicit on this property.
We just paid to rent out the penthouse to shoot up there. So
You can't solicit like this on this property.
keep shooting.
All right, well, then I'd go through my measures.
Yeah.
You got to keep shooting, man. Okay, well, you can put it on your shoulder. Don't be shy.
Just come with me, Buzz.
You really like it?
Calling the kettle black, if I ever thought of it. Saying I
Will you
misrepresented
get
myself.
away from me?
You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
You want me to knock you in the head?
Well, I want you to swear to
Get
God
away
on the
from
Bible
me.
that you
Get
walked
away
on the
from
moon.
me, okay?
If you walked on the moon, we're given the opportunity to swear to God that you walked on the moon.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to get the hell knocked out of you if you don't leave me alone.
So why don't you just put the end to the record in the argument and put your hand on the Bible, swear to God you walked on the moon.
Mr. Sibrel, knowing you, that's probably a fake Bible.
Bart Sibrel, ABC Digital.
How are you?
Good. I'm the gentleman who found the classified tape from your mission of you faking the window shot. Oh, asking you to swear in the Bible that you orbited the moon.
Would you please go away?
Well, if you really orbited the moon, why won't you swear in the Bible that you did so? I just don't understand why if you orbited the moon, you wouldn't have a problem about swearing to the Bible on it. Can you tell me why? Are you afraid for the truth to come out? Tell us, what is this video? I'm not quite following it on right now.
Yes. From the challenges by the group that has said we never went to the moon, and they're trying to pick holes in some of the lunar photographs. And it's an interesting subject because they're totally misguided. We did exactly what we said we did. And they can try to pick holes in the photography all they want to, but if you're going to press me on this, I'm not going to talk to you anymore, because I won't pursue this. All of this attempt to say the Apollo programs were fake is just sheer nonsense, and you can talk till hell freezes over, and you're wrong. Okay?
Well, would you affirm?
I won't continue on this line.
Would you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon?
You bet your sweet ass.
Okay. Put your left hand on the Bible. Put your left hand on the Bible. Raise your right hand and say, I, Edgar Mitchell.
I, Edgar Mitchell.
Affirm.
Affirm.
Under penalty of eternal damnation.
I don't believe in that, but penalty of eternal damnation.
That I walked on the moon on Apollo 14.
That I walked on the moon on Apollo 14.
Well, you know, you're the first astronaut to do that. We asked 6 other astronauts to swear on the Bible, and they refused to do it.
Okay, turn off the camera. Your interview is done. I've given you all the time I'm going to give you.
Okie dokie. Good to meet you.
I don't say it's a pleasure.
Understand.
Please get your ass out of my house.
Okay. As an independent producer, okay, we're heading out. Doing that is against moral ethics. Lying about going to the moon is a satanic lie of gigantic proportions.
I don't hit people, but you're going to be on the deck unless you get...
I'm heading out. I appreciate it.
And get the hell out of the Black House. Don't get a gun and shoot them at them before they get out of the office?
We have a video camera running if you want to do it.
Right.
That would be great footage for us. See you later. In court, I hope.
Want to call the CIA? Have them whacked.
Now, you would think that these guys would be falling to their knees to swear on the Bible that they walked on the moon. You think it would be something they'd be proud of, but that's not their reaction. They're acting like criminals with something to hide, like someone who just got caught lying or cheating. But anyways, as I was saying, out of 7.8 billion people in the world, only these handful of people say they've been to space. And that's what your whole belief system lies upon. These 24 guys, what they say they've seen. Freemasons. And no one since then has been beyond low Earth orbit because they lost the technology to go back there. They never lost the technology. They never had it. And as long as they say they lost it, can't none of these new astronauts try to go there, and that's their excuse, so they never find out there's a firmament. You can't go anywhere beyond what they call low Earth orbit. And that is why every rocket or shuttle launch that you've ever seen in your life on TV always curves off because there's a firmament. There is no place to go.
But Bill, there is no big glass dome over the Earth. But Bill, there is no big glass dome over the Earth.
Now, one thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go.
All I'm offering is the truth. Nothing more.